Hey sis, I want to be so open and honest about my experience as an entrepreneur in this series. I think so many times you hear people glamorize leaving their 9 to 5 and living the soft life, but you don't hear the background or the details about what that really looks like. My first 30 days as a full-time entrepreneur were not glamorous. They were messy, they were challenging. I was juggling motherhood on top of leaving a job, and that's all I've ever known. Really, those days made me question everything. It made me really self-reflect. It made me take a step back and self-reflect on my life. Honestly, they also were the most freeing days in my entire life because I got to wake up and choose exactly what my life looked like. For the first time, I was living my life for me. For so long, I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I went to school, I got a good job, I moved up the corporate ladder. I made everyone else proud. But deep down, I knew it wasn't my dream. I've heard way too many stories of people who get to the end of their lives and have the same regret, living their life for someone else and not truly living for them. I refuse to let that be my story. And if you're listening to this, I don't want it to be yours either. So today in episode 2 of From 9 to 5 to CEO, my first 60 days as a full-time entrepreneur, I'm actually sharing what those first 30 days look like. The struggles, the breakthroughs, and the lessons that can help you if you're ready to stop living for everyone else and ready to start building a life that you truly own. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Part 1, my story. So sis, let's talk about the emotional roller coaster that's involved with working for yourself. The emotions hit harder than I ever expected. At first, I felt relief. No more clocking in, no more fake smiles and toxic meetings, no more Southern California traffic draining hours out of my life. I felt like I could finally breathe. Then came panic. That first Monday that I realized that I didn't have to go to work, I thought, wait, what now? What do I actually do with my time? Then guilt started to creep in. I felt like I had to overcompensate, to work longer hours in my business to try to prove that leaving my job wasn't a huge mistake. And layered on top of that was mom guilt. Here I was with this precious baby that I prayed for. And I felt torn between soaking up every moment and feeling the pressure to build something sustainable. I think a lot of us glamorize the leap, but the truth is, leaving one identity and stepping into another is messy. You're grieving the old you while you're building the new you, and that's okay. And then there was my new routine, or lack thereof. When I worked in corporate, my life was predictable. Alarm clock, commute, desk, meetings, deadlines. Now I had none of that. At first, it felt amazing to not have to follow anybody else's schedule. But quickly I realized that freedom without structure is chaos. My saving grace was my parents. Once a week, they keep the baby so I could have what I call CEO day. On those days, I could breathe, focus, and get into my creative flow. I could plan, work on my website, work on content, and feel like a business owner. But the other 6 days, they were unpredictable. Feedings, diaper changes, nap schedules, and me trying to sneak in emails or edit a post while holding a baby. It was beautiful, but it was messy. And what I learned in this, balance doesn't mean that everything gets equal time. Balance is giving yourself permission to prioritize differently in each season. Some days I was more mom, other days I was more CEO, and both were okay. My partner was also super helpful with the baby. He's also an entrepreneur, and we trade off so that some parts of the day he has the baby and some parts of the day I have the baby so that we can both work on our businesses. And it's a great experience. It can be challenging. We're figuring it out, but I'm grateful for him. Now let's talk about the identity crisis that's involved. This is the part that caught me off guard. For over a decade, my identity was tied to being a corporate woman. I had a job title, a steady paycheck, long hours, constant grind. And then all of a sudden, that was gone. At this very same time, I was figuring out what it meant to be a mom. And while I loved that role so deeply, it felt like I had lost the old me. I'd look in the mirror and think, what am I now if I'm not her? If you've ever left a job, ended a season, or started something new, you might know that weird in-between I'm talking about. You're not who you used to be, but you're fully not who you're becoming yet. That in-between space is weird. What got me through it is realizing that my identity is not my job title. It isn't even just being a mom. My identity is rooted in who I am, my values, my gifts, my purpose. The roles change, but the core me is still there. And maybe you're in that space too, that weird in between where you're not who you were you're not quite who you're becoming yet, that's the hardest place to sit, but it's where growth really happens. Part 2, the lessons I learned. When I look back at those first 30 days, there are 4 major lessons that really changed everything for me. And I think they can help you too if you're just starting your journey. Lesson number 1, structure is your friend. At first, I thought freedom meant no schedule, no rules, no boundaries. But quickly I realized without any structure, my days blurred together and I felt like I was spinning in circles. What helped me was setting CEO hours. Even if it was just 2 focused hours while my baby napped, I treated that time like a meeting with myself that couldn't be canceled. If you're just starting out, don't try to mimic a 9 to 5, but do give yourself dedicated, intentional time to focus on your business. Small, consistent blocks of time will get you further than scattered all over the place effort. Lesson number 2, you can't do it alone. One of the biggest shifts for me that I realized was that I didn't need to do everything by myself. My parents keeping the baby once a week, asking my partner to help with keeping the baby when I need to work on something in my business or content or email. That was a game changer. It gave me the mental space to fully step into CEO mode without distraction. For you, support might look different. A babysitter, a mentor, a virtual assistant, or even a friend that holds you accountable. Don't be afraid to lean on others. Asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. Number 3, identity evolves. This was the hardest one for me. I kept asking, who am I now? I wasn't just corporate Chelsea anymore, and I wasn't just mom Chelsea. I had to learn that my identity wasn't lost, it was expanding. And the same is true for you. When you start a business, you're not erasing the old you, you're adding new layers. Every skill, every past experience, every role you've had comes with you into the next chapter. Instead of asking, who am I now? Ask, who am I becoming? Number 4, messy is normal. This one might be the most important. I used to beat myself up if I didn't check everything off the list or if my day didn't go as planned. But I learned that messy action moves you forward way faster than waiting for the perfect plan. Trust me, I am a perfectionist. This one hits home. If you're starting your business, expect messy. Expect days that don't go as planned. Expect pivots. And instead of taking it as a sign that you're failing, take it as proof that you're building something real. So if you're in your own first 30 days, I want you to know this. It's not supposed to feel polished. It's supposed to feel like growth. And growth is always messy before it's beautiful. Part 3, my advice for you. So if you're in your own first 30 days, or even just dreaming about them, here's my advice. Pause and breathe. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is stop pushing and allow yourself to just sit in the transition. Number 2, journal. I wrote down the ugly thoughts, the doubts, the wins, the gratitude. Getting it on paper helps you see the patterns and it reminds you of your why. That leads us to number 3, reconnect with your vision. I asked myself, why did I leave? For me, it was freedom, family, and a chance to build something bigger than myself. Number 4, celebrate small wins. On days that I felt like I got nothing done, I had to remind myself, you fed your baby and kept her alive today. You posted one thing, you moved one step forward, and that's all that mattered. Number 5, give yourself grace. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. Number 6, start small, but be consistent. One post, one email, one client conversation. Do at least one thing each day to get the needle moving. All right, Queen. If you're sitting in your first 30 days, or maybe you haven't taken the leap yet because you're just not sure how to get started, I'd love to help you. You can book a free strategy call with me and I can help you go over some ideas of how you can get out of that 9 to 5 and into your dream business. Or if you're a coach or a therapist and already have a private practice or business, I'm conducting 3 free website audits this month. Let's get clear on what's working, what's not, and what's going to actually attract clients consistently. The link is below in the description. I hope this resonated with you, and I hope you got some gems that you can apply when you leave that 9 to 5 and you have your own first 30 days. Make sure to like and comment and let me know if you have had your first 30 days, what was your experience like? Share it with the community. We all want to help each other. This is what this is all about, is helping each other thrive in this time of transition. Don't forget to subscribe because in episode 3, I'll be sharing what it really looked like to balance being a brand new mother and a brand new CEO. And let me tell you, It wasn't always pretty, but it taught me the most valuable lessons about time, energy, and priorities. You don't want to miss it. See you next time.